Hello my friends, welcome back. I'm IndieProd and we're jumping right into the deep end with some free-for-all madness on Total War Warhammer 2. Shut up, Gabo, my lord. They never know when to be quiet, man. Well, you know Greenskins are on the field. Agony Achilles playing them with the most annoying Goblin Warboss of all time. Hopefully he dies soon. And it is a family affair today. All 4 players in this free-for-all are Agony clan members. Agony Zayus commands the Beastmen, and Agony Duck from the CA dev team and Panda Warrior are up in here as well. Doom Divers unleashing their hilarity on the world, and I don't think they did a whole lot with that. Minotaurs aren't the ideal target for them, but the Beastmen and Greenskins are going to clash very early on in this game. We'll take a look at the other army compositions very soon here, but Black Orcs for the Greenskins, and a whole bunch of angry Boar Boy Big Guns getting ready to charge downhill and prevent this entire Bestigor herd from getting their charge bonus off. No fear whatsoever from the Wa, and that will tie up a sizable chunk of this Beastmen army. Prevent them from getting their charge bonus off and just basically tie down that entire right flank while these trolls and other Greenskin units get their downhill charge. So very nice there. Lure Beastcats for the Beastmen and get some buffs off on the main line, and here come the trolls. And that is a fantastic start for the Greenskins and for Achilles. Pretty much the exact engagement he wanted there. Downhill charge prevented any charge bonus whatsoever from the Beastmen lines. And yeah, he might smash through them pretty easy. Let's take a look at what the Panda Warrior is doing, and I absolutely love him for this build and the strategy he's going for. Complete Vanguard build with Miners and Norgrimlings, Ironbreakers, and a bunch of Rangers hidden in the woods directly behind the Beastmen line. This is something you don't expect from the Dwarfs at all. This is what you expect from the Beastmen, right? Complete Vanguard force. He only has Ungrim across the other side of the battlefield and Gyro Bomber. Everything else is hidden directly in this little alcove in the woods, ready to get a rear charge and start shooting into the back of the Beastmen Brayher. Beautiful. I cannot wait to see what Panda Warrior does with that as the Gyro Bomber starts eviscerating Greenskin stuff on the main line. And that is going to be a great way to get a ton of points here, because we have a huge blob and there are a lot of units to kill. And that Gyro Bomber, the Skyhammer, can just massacre big swaths of infantry. But Agony Duck, the CA dev, is coming. We've got a Lore of Metalcaster, Archaon the Everchosen, Three-Eyed King, Lord of the End Times, and a bunch of Dragon Ogres and Chaos Armored Trolls with gold chevrons. So very interesting build from Agony Duck. Very low on numbers, very elite, very monster-focused build. Flamestorm from Archaon. Not a very good cast, actually. There was some jib in there. There were some kills, but it was pretty much all on Ungor herd, so that shouldn't be a lot of points for him. And some Centaurs with great weapons, ambushing from the trees from the flank into some Chaos Armored Trolls. If that was the only unit there, it'd probably go okay for the Centaurs. Instead, though, they're going to be overrun as Warriors of Chaos pour in there, and Archaon gets in there as well. They don't want to stick around, and those rowdy Centaurs will run away, going to get drunk and rut some Bambi Biddies somewhere else. Black Orcs and Bestigors. Interesting fight here. Bedlam has erupted on the Greenskin and Beastmen lines. Some Minotaurs getting immolated there, and Searing Doom coming down, getting a big swath of Ungor herd and some of the Greenskin stuff, and Panda Warrior has sprung his ambush. Now, he's not in a great position right now. A lot of his dwarf stuff is in the trees, and he's firing out of them, so a lot of those shots will get blocked. I think he needs to move more out of the trees before he starts opening up some more fire, but see how many points he can rack up there. He is in last place right now, but he'll have time, of course. Ungrim Ironfist, the Slayer King, going to shut down that Goblin Doom Diver. That's hilarious. He's literally the only unit over on that side of the battlefield. Everything else is getting committed right now. Trolls and Dragon Ogres, some Boar Boy Big Guns in there. Should be an interesting fight. Trolls have terrible leadership, but you know what? Agony Ducks won't, though, because they're golden chevrons, and that means their leadership's actually going to be pretty high, about 62, 65 maybe. Something like that, and their melee defense will be very high as well. Black Orcs and Warriors of Chaos fighting it out, and the Trolls are just vomiting over everything, and everything they touch exploding into big bags of blood. But Agony Achilles has completely shifted his attention away from the Beastmen and is now focusing almost all his attention on the Warriors of Chaos. Here comes the Goblin Warboss on his gigantic pet K-Squig, which isn't that gigantic, I guess, but charging right in there with no fear. AP and bonus versus infantry should allow him to do pretty well here, and this is where Panda Warrior is really going to start racking up those points with his Rangers and his he has Bugman's Rangers on the field as well. He has Throwing Axe Rangers and he has Bugman, so he has plenty of ranged firepower for sure. and he'll be able to rack up some points on these monsters like the Dragon Ogres, like the Armored Trolls, like the Greenskin Trolls. Might be able to do a serious amount of damage if he can focus fire those down appropriately. So yeah, I'm loving this build right now. Almost no elite stuff besides the Ungrim Ironbreakers. It's all cheap ranger range units for the dwarfs, so I'm really interested to see how that works out. Archaon fighting in the woods here with a bunch of Beastmen, and Khazrak the One Eye got in there as well. You can see the chaos corruption emanating beneath his hooves. I imagine Archaon doesn't think too much of the One Eye, but he has to be careful here. Completely surrounded by some Ungors, which don't matter too much. Centaurs with great weapons could definitely do some serious damage to him over time. And Khazrak with Scourge, the whip and that poison could do serious damage to him. There's some Dragon Ogres supporting Archaon though, so I think he'll be alright for now. Blasting charges coming in from the Dwarfs, smashing apart the Chaos line here. And those Chaos Warriors taking some serious damage from all this ranged firepower that's pouring in. Almost nothing from the Dwarfs is getting committed to melee right now. It's just all focus fire. So Panda's playing this very well, and he also has some throwing axe rangers that have moved into the trees. A little bit of a tough angle for them to fire in. Yeah, the trees are definitely going to block some shots there, but this is what he wants. He's basically not sacrificing any of his units in melee. Meanwhile, just racking up those points on the big monsters, taking them down, and getting some good shots in the back and the flanks of the Bestigors and some of the Gore Herd. There's some return fire coming from the woods. Zayus and the Beastmen seem to be in the worst position. They seem to be on their last legs, but I think Panda Warrior, even though he's last on the leaderboard right now, with all these throwing axes getting some shots in, I think from a tactical perspective, he's in the best position to start moving in and get to the top of the leaderboards there. There's a Brace Shaman with a Chariot, which would normally be amazing, but with all those throwing axes coming in, just gonna rout, unfortunately, for the Beastmen. And these Ungor Herd, they're gonna be able to get into melee, which is fine. We'll get a couple kills here or there, but Rangers can defend themselves in close quarters combat with those big armor-piercing great axes. And that gorgeous lighting. This map, I think this is Woodland Ravine is the name of the map. Absolutely fantastic from a visual perspective and from a gameplay perspective. A lot of fun to play. One of my favorite free-for-all maps that they've introduced so far. This is a default map, by the way. CA's map, so it's not custom or anything like that. Definitely try it out if you haven't already. Really fun map. But here we go. The pet cave squig charged into melee here, decapitating a few unfortunate Bugman's Rangers who are drunk off their own ass at the moment. More blasting charges coming in from the Miners and the Norgrimlings Ironbreakers. And it's carnage here. So much flame and death. Chaos didn't have a whole lot of infantry. It's mostly monsters. So I think these Chaos Warriors are being kind of thrown to the wolves here. No support, and they will face the wrath of the Dawi alone. Meanwhile, Rangers have pushed downhill. Khazrak the One Eye and a few of the Dragon Ogres. We've got a three-way fight going on. It actually looks like the Dragon Ogres are on the same team as Khazrak right now. But this is why I love free-for-alls, right? We've got three different forces all clashing at once. Khazrak in the thick of things, just slaying about with Scourge, chopping up some Dawi. He's pretty much the only thing left for the Beastmen. The Dragon Ogres were kind of helping him out there, but they ran away. Agony Duck felt like, hey, man, maybe I don't want to leave my Dragon Ogres in here against all that AP. So he's going to pull out and look for a different target there. Now, Panda Warrior has pretty much full control of the center of the battlefield now. Agony Duck's pulling back, and what he's doing right now makes a lot of sense. He has no real reason to commit at the moment. It'll leave his trolls isolated where they can get shot down very easily, and he can afford to wait a little bit and get some more of that health regen with his trolls. Get their health up a bit before he goes back into melee. That regen could be the difference between winning or losing this game. So, Khazrak still being very annoying. I mean, like, let's look at the Dawi line for a second. Let's look at the army composition, right? It's all Rangers. It's all pretty much hybrid units that aren't great in melee. Yeah, the Rangers do have some melee capabilities, but they're not frontline tanks or anything like that. They don't have a ton of DPS in melee, so they're not going to be able to do that much to Khazrak. He's going to just be able to survive for a while there, chopping up the Dawi and basically tying down that entire flank for a while. But yeah, he's starting to waver now. Army losses might be kicking in, actually. And Archaon coming back as well on Dorgar, Seed of the Apocalypse. And I'm very curious how his Winds of Magic pool is. I think that Agony Duck might have cast that Flamestorm as a overcast, which would mean he used a gigantic amount of Winds of Magic and frankly wasted a lot of it because that Flamestorm did absolutely nothing for him. Killed a couple of Ungor herd and that was it. I don't know why you would overcast a Flamestorm against the Beastmen, and I could be wrong, maybe you just did a regular one, but regardless, it has a lot of AP, and AP isn't, it's kind of wasted a bit against something like Ungor herd, so he would have probably been better off with like Burning Head or something in that situation. Not sure he brought to this battle though. Dragon Ogres running after the Black Orcs, and Achilles is off the field, and finally, mercifully, the Night Goblin Warboss has shut the hell up. It's so annoying. I wish they would just not make those command move orders in replays as well. It just drowns out everything else. It's crazy, really annoying. But here come blasting charges. No, Panda, don't do that. Don't do that. He's blasting charging the crap out of his own guys there. And here come the armored trolls over on the other side of the battlefield, spewing bile and unleashing devastating carnage on these miners. I think these are the saddest miners I've ever seen in my life. Like, this is untold carnage what is happening right now. Like, I don't even know what to say. They're all just blowing up. It's so vicious and brutal and disgusting and amazing and Warhammer. I love it. So, there were miners there. Not anymore. They're piles of meat on the ground now. That was insanely brutal. Now Ungrim Ironfist had to watch all of that. And he's seen some brutal things in this day, but I don't know if he's seen anything that bad. He's decapitating a few of these Chaos Warriors. Heads going flying, and they don't really want to duel him. But they come back now. I'm not sure. Yeah, I guess they're just going to get a charge bonus back again. And here come the Armored Trolls. Can the Slayer King take down some monsters before he goes down? Panda Warrior doesn't really seem to care that Ungrim's over by himself, isolated. I think he's like, give the Slayer King the death he so richly deserves, the one he wants. And I don't know if he's actually going to be able to get any attacks off where he can actually kill monsters here. They might just stun lock him. And this is the cut. I love Ungrim Ironfist, and honestly I just think the Dwarfs are in a good spot on this patch. But it does make it very hard for the Slayer King to kill monsters and do what he's supposed to do. Use that bonus versus large when he gets knocked around like a ragdoll all the time. And I'm not talking about like regular dwarf units. I'm fine with them going flying when a Chaos Knight with Lance unit charges in from behind and hits him from the rear or whatever. That's cool. But like Ungrim, if he's going to use that bonus versus large, he can't go flying all the time. And he is going to get knocked down a lot here. Kind of bullied around a bit, which to be fair, he's completely isolated. But yeah, I mean, he's not going to make it out of here. Archaon, a bunch of armored trolls, very, very angry armored trolls that just pasted a bunch of miners and Chaos Warriors all in there. And Ungrim takes down a couple, and he keeps getting knocked down. And I think with one or two more attacks, I mean, he's got a sliver of HP left. Making his last stand. He goes down. Death Blow. Does it kill anybody? Oh, that Death Blow might have killed one or two. I'm not sure. I didn't see any models drop. I don't think it did, actually. But it did some damage. Now, we saw Death Blow in that last Dwarf replay on the Belagar one. It's really cool. Very fun to see them get a kill when they, with their last attack, basically when they die. That's all Slayers. Any unit with the Death Blow ability will do that. Khazrak by himself, taking a bunch of throwing axes to the face. And blood spurts out, and he dies. Khazrak's out of the picture now. Ungrim's out of the picture, but Archaon is not. He leads the charge into the teeth of the Dawi defense, where the Nordling's Ironbreakers are. Interesting choice to send everybody into that unit in particular, because they're pretty much the only thing on the field right now and have a charge defense against large. So their charge kind of got canceled out there. But that is just a beautiful shot. Looks like we're on Ulthuan. Beautiful shot of the Elven Castle in the background there, and Armored Trolls painting the gorgeous rolling hillsides red with the blood of the Dawi. There are very few things in this game that I enjoy more than seeing Armored Trolls or any troll unit get into the middle of a bunch of squishy stuff, like Bugman's Rangers. I love Bugman's Rangers. Don't get to see them used very often. Props to Panda for this super themey build. It's awesome. But it is so satisfying to watch them just explode when Armored Trolls get in the middle of them and start smacking them around with their big stone weapons from the, I mean, they're like from the Paleolithic era, man. Like, those are some old ass weapons that they're rocking with. Super brutish, super savage. Literally look like something out of some prehistoric era. But yeah, they're doing a lot of work on the Dawi line here. And Archaon is anchoring it, making sure they stay in the fight. Those gold chevs are actually paying off very nicely for the trolls and for Agony Duck right now. Looking at the scoreboard here, Looks like Agony Duck is in the lead, a relatively commanding lead, but I think Panda Warrior, I think there are enough points on the field that Panda could take it from him if he plays well here, if he's able to take down these monsters. Now, the problem, of course, that he has right now is that he has no Slayers. So how do you deal with armored trolls as they get picked up and slammed over and over into the ground? Well, if he had ammo left, those great weapons would be great. The throwing axes would be amazing for killing them quickly. The Ulthar's Rangers and their Marked by Ulthar ability would be fantastic. But he doesn't have any. He's completely out of ammo on all of his units. Every single one of his units he's out of ammo on. But Archaon, completely surrounded here. Agony Duck could lose him. And if it does, that could spell some kind of mass rout for Chaos. And could maybe give Panda the leg up he needs to take this battle. Gyro Bomber getting into melee with some Dragon Ogres. I mean, it's out of ammo too. Panda was a little bit weak on the ammo selection, I feel. I feel like he wasted a lot of it on cheap stuff in the beginning, firing out of the woods. They didn't need to. If he had saved a little bit of ammunition here, taking down these trolls would be a lot easier. And they are, I mean, with that regen, he has no way to kill them quickly. But Archaon just routed, and he can't rout right now because the Rangers have him completely surrounded. Armored Troll charging him from the flank. Dawi going flying, and they're trying to carve a path so that Archaon can run away. I don't know if the Chaos Gods are going to be very happy with Archie if they find out that he's running away from a bunch of Rangers in close quarters combat. That's really something where he should be thriving, and he's not thriving there. Over on the other side, more Armored Trolls. These ones are up to 230 kills right now, with the Ungrim Miners and some more of those Rangers. It's so brutal. The last 5 minutes of this replay have been constant Armored Trolls kicking Ungrim Miners into oblivion, into red mist. What can you do against such reckless hate? Nothing. It's just, I don't know if the Dawi can pull this one out, man, in terms of points. I think Agony Duck is, yeah, he's in the ascendancy at this point. Looking at the math, there's just no way. There's no way the Dwarfs can pull this out. They're going to be the last man standing for sure, and they'll get 2,500 points. From that, I think it's a fixed value. If someone actually knows about free-for-all, the scoring system in terms of what you get for winning, please let me know. I've seen it fluctuate a bit. It hasn't been 2,500 points every single time. I think it also, there might be some kind of bit of a multiplier depending on how much you have left in the final stages of the game. What's actually left at the end of the battle. Like, if you have more troops, you'll get a bit more points. But I'm not 100% sure about that. So if anybody does know, please feel free to let me know. But yeah, I mean, the gold chevron Armored Trolls for Agony Duck have been incredible here. 300 kills on one of them. Archaon, well over 150 at this point. Smacking some dwarfs around, but he will rout. Chaos will rout. And after Dorgar kills a few more, that'll be the end of the game. And Panda Warrior will not quite have enough points to pull this one out. But it ended up being very close. And actually, yeah, I think Panda Warrior got 200 points for the remaining units on the battlefield from them routing. So the Armored Trolls and Archaon. And then 2,500 points. Seems like a fixed value there, because 2,700 points was the jump he got from the end of the battle towards the, like, being the last man standing, that bonus. So, yeah, it might be 2,500 points. Yeah, in terms of kills here, Archaon, 176 kills, and the Dragon Ogre, Silver Chevrons, did a lot of work for him. Armored Trolls, 300 kills. Crazy. I mean, it's not like you're going to be seeing all Ranger builds all the time. So a little bit, kind of their dream, honestly, their wet dream. Those Armored Trolls woke up in the morning and said, we're going to taste on some Dawi flesh today. So that was fun. But the Rangers for Panda Warrior, obviously nothing crazy in terms of kills. But they did work for him. I liked the build a lot. Normally, the Ironbreakers actually didn't do a whole lot, but they didn't even really get committed to melee much that game. The blasting charge and everything from range did a bunch of work. For Achilles, the Trolls were kind of disappointing. 74 kills on one, but 5 and 7 on the others. It's pretty gross. And the Beastmen got run over. They were in a bad spot. They got completely surrounded by the Dawi behind them. From the flank, the Warriors of Chaos charged in. Their Cav got taken out. And Achilles and the Greenskins did the bulk of that damage early on with that charge up the center. Hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll talk to you later. Any Pride, signing out for now.